2012's Prometheus was not Ridley Scott's finest hour. Does he return to form in 2017's brand new Alien Covenant?
Look out! Cool?
One of the most surprising things about Alien Covenant is the fact that the movie even exists after 2012's disastrous reboot, Prometheus, which was supposed to be a reboot of the entire Alien franchise. It met with critical and public panning, and it failed at the box office. So the fact that Alien Covenant is even out this summer is kind of a testament to Ridley Scott's star power and the fact that we all trust and believe in the Ridley Scott. Let's just cut to the chase. I didn't like Alien Covenant much at all. First, let me tell you, I'm not a huge fan of the Alien franchise. I've seen every Alien movie once, and I've never had a desire to go back. I take it back. I think I've seen every Alien movie twice. But I've never really had a desire to go back and rewatch it. And I was thinking about watching all 5 movies or 6 movies or however many movies there are. Again, because I actually own all the director's cuts on digital and on Blu-ray. So I was thinking about watching them all, but I was like, why? I'm not a fan of the series. I never understood the fascination with the series. Okay, I do understand it's sci-fi horror. Generally at its best, at least the first 2. After that, the film franchise has never been good. I mean, Alien and Aliens are the pinnacle of the series, and every film after that has kind of been a huge drop-off. And my problem with the franchise has always been the aliens themselves. They've always been kind of lifeless to me. They have no personality, which is the point. And so I don't understand why people are screaming for Prometheus and wanting to know what the backstory of the aliens are, or why they exist, why they come to be. Why do people care? They're supposed to be monsters. They're unstoppable, nameless, faceless monsters that haunt your dreams. And in that respect, I actually really love the franchise. I mean, Aliens is a great movie. I'm not going to sit here and say that Aliens isn't a great movie. Sigourney Weaver is amazing, and I feel like the franchise has been trying to chase that lightly in a bottle ever since Aliens, and it always comes up failing miserably. Alien Covenant doesn't know what it wants to be. Does it want to be a serious sci-fi exploration about the invention of the aliens, or does it want to be a straight-up, typical, boring alien movie where aliens are popping out of chests, blood is splattered all over the place? It can't really be both, I don't think. I mean, I know a lot of people think it can be, but I really don't think it needs to kind of raise the fist and decide what it wants to be. Because the problem is, the first hour of this movie is, I use the word boring a lot in my reviews, but I can't come up with a better word. And what's the point of saying 50 words when one word sums up the movie best? And the word is boring. The first hour of the movie feels herky-jerky. And the weird thing is, it starts off weird and it never really recovers from the shaky beginning. Because in the beginning, we actually meet David, and we find out how David was created, and he talks to his creator, and this is about a 10 or 15 minute setup where Michael Fassbender as David is stiff, and you cannot find a better actor to play a stiff robot than Michael Fassbender. I have never understood his appeal, because to me he's always stiff and boring and bland and just not someone I want to spend 2 hours with. I mean, every movie he's in, he acts pretty much the same way, only this time he gets to be a robot, so it actually works within the context of this movie, but I don't want to watch that. I just don't. And for the first 10 or 15 minutes when he first comes to life, the very first question he asks his creator is, well, if you created me, who created you? And then the movie kind of wraps back around to that towards the end. But the problem is, I was like, is this a sequel to Prometheus? I don't understand what's going on, because I guess I walked in with the expectation that this movie would be a direct sequel to Prometheus, and it actually is, but it takes a long time to actually get to that point where you're like, oh yes, this is a sequel to Prometheus, but it's all set up and build up. So for the first hour, we meet the crew, the Covenant, where at the end of Prometheus, you know, whatever her name was flying off to the alien planet. So that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see that movie where she flies off after the aliens and she lands. We don't get that at all in this movie. We're just on the Prometheus with all these boring characters that no one really knows or likes or don't really care about. We have Chi McBride in this movie for some reason playing one of the pilots named Tennessee. He's kind of like the comic relief in the movie, and then we also have Jussie Smollett, who I always love singing, and he plays Ricky, another pilot, and then we also meet Walter, who's also clone of David, but that's not made entirely clear until about until about an hour into the movie when we meet the real David. But for the first hour, I'm like, wait, why is Walter here? And maybe it's just because I'm not an alien aficionado and know enough about the series background to really understand about the clones and all that kind of stuff, because I was like, wait a second, we got 15 minutes of David, and now David's on this ship, and yeah, his name's Walter, but yeah, he's a clone, but they never really make that expressly clear until later on. And I guess if I was a true like Aliens fan, I would understand that, but maybe I just didn't care enough to understand. And the movie, basically what it is they're on this ship called the Covenant, and it's their job to actually escort 2,000 colonists to a new planet because they're former Earth people, humans who want to colonize a new planet. So it's up to this crew to get them safely to that planet. And at some point, they get a distress call from a human who's on another planet that's out of the way, and the pilot tells them, hey, let's make this detour and go over here. And basically there's an argument saying, well, it's not our job. Our job is to get these 2,000 people to the new planet. It's not to go over here and try to rescue this one person. And you shouldn't listen to people when you say that. And Catherine Waterston is Daniels, who is basically this movie's version of Ripley. And she's really good. I really like Catherine Daniels in it. She's really good. She does a yeoman's job playing against Fassbender, and she's kick-ass. She's really badass. The movie falls apart when it lands on David's planet, and we meet David again, and it becomes the entire thing about how David wants to colonize, basically he wants to be a creator. He wants to create life, and he wants to. He basically becomes the creator of the entire aliens that as we know them, and he's fascinated by them, and he wants to colonize a new planet and destroy all humans. Why? We don't know. The movie really never explains why David wants to destroy all humans, other than the fact that he just thinks he's better than them, and he sees himself as God, and he wants to create his own race of people, in which it is going to happen to be the aliens. And that's pretty much the entire movie. I probably just spoiled a lot of it, but it's nothing that you don't already know if you saw Prometheus. While I was watching this movie, I just kept thinking, why does this movie exist? Why does this movie exist? It's not really giving us any real new information. It's like 2.5 hours. It's actually a little under 2 hours. It tells us information that we already know. It's just the excuse to watch aliens explode spectacularly out of people's stomachs. Lots of really good blood and guts. Ridley Scott does a great job with some of the visuals, especially with some of the special effects. I mean, there's some really nice, beautiful outside shots of them landing on the planet. The ship model design was really great. But in service to a plot that really doesn't seem to go anywhere, doesn't really want to do anything, kind of lays flat for me. So I didn't like Alien Covenant much at all. I felt really bad because I walked out, the PR people were like, well, what do you think? With all smiles, and I was just kind of like, I really hated this movie. But I can't gin up enough hate to really like give you an angry rant about it. It was just kind of one of those movies that's just there. So yeah, that's my review of Alien Covenant.
You've all sacrificed so much to be here and be a part of this thing we're doing. This crew is made up of couples.
It's the first ever large-scale colonization mission.
And everyone back on Earth is
Really grateful for your hard work, and your courage.
we're making history here.
This is wheat. What are the odds of finding human vegetation this far from Earth?
Who planted it? You hear that?
What?
Nothing. No birds. No animals. Nothing. What happened here?
Covenant, do you read me? Covenant, come in.
What's happening?
I need you back here right now. I need you.
Okay, baby, just calm down, sweetheart. Calm down.
Tell me to stop.
You're breaking up.
All of this is to start our new life. Where is it?
Hold on! Holy